Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. So for today I decided to take this game for a spin on my GTX 1650 Super and see how is the performance. So to start on, I'm playing at 1080p median settings. I'm starting with median settings because this game have a hard lock at 60 frames per second, and it's this type of games that doesn't support frame skipping, which means that the game is locked to 60 and you can't get more than that, but if you get lower than 60, the game just starts to slow down instead of having like weird frame drops like we get in all the games. So basically either you play at 60 or you play at 60. You have no chance, or the game will seem to be like Max Payne in slow motion jumping in the midair. Um, so one thing that I want to also point out before starting to talk more about the performance is that this game, it is using Unreal Engine 5, it is using the X12, although it suffers from stutter struggle. Basically the game doesn't compile shaders at the boot, and every time you do any new action, every time you try a new map, a new attack, a new character, there will be stutters like you are seeing in here. And before each setting that I did try, what I have done, it was to erase the shader cache folder so that all the settings that I did try, it was equally stuttering, and not like the first setting that I did try, it was stuttering and the rest of them was stuttering less because the shaders were already compiled. No, I erased the entire shader compilation folder so that the experience was the same in between each setting, and this is the experience that you will get the first fight that we will have. It just stutters all over the place. Apart from that, the game at median settings, it just runs at 60 frames per second. No issues, no frame rate drops aside from the stuttering, and that's about it. So I decided to also try the game with high settings, which is basically the maximum you can go for. And basically you also get those 60 frames per second, but the GPU usage is being much more utilized, and at some special attacks, special occasions, occasions with a lot of alpha effects, for example, the game will drop below 60 frames per second and it starts to run kind of in slow motion in some moments. So as you can see, yeah, it's a little bit of a stretched setting for you to play. You can play at high and probably you will think that it is okay, but I'm not even sure if this map it is the most demanding one that you will try or not. So if you will find more demanding moments or cutscenes more demanding, it will play in slow motion like Max Payne, jumping in the midair instead of running at the normal speed. So that's why I do recommend you to stick up with the median settings that I did show you here, instead of going with the maximum setting for this game. Also, this game, on the recommended requirements, they do specify that you need an RTX 2060, and even with that, they also specify that frame rate drops might occur. Um, yeah, that's it. That's why I do think that playing at 1080p median settings, it is the better option, and graphics-wise, it's not very different compared in between median and high. So just choose what you feel better for you. Then after that, I decided to go and move on to 1440p and see how it fared. So here we go, 40p using both settings aside from textures and anti-aliasing. Textures are on high, which is the maximum in this game, because well, it's good to see that sometimes we have games that we can max out textures without going overboard of the overflow of the 4 gigabytes of VRAM. So the 4 gigabytes of VRAM is fine if you want to play with textures on maximum, and well, that's a good thing. So with the low settings, the game just runs at 60 frames per second. Although, and again, just like the high settings of the 1080p, there are some moments where the GPU usage gets to 99% and the frame rate drops, meaning that the GPU can't deal with the explosions or the alpha effects, and again, it starts to run in slow motion like Matrix, alright? So that's not really the type of thing that I want to see. in this, and if you don't want this stuff to happen at 1440p of all settings, my suggestion is for you to drop down the resolution scaling, which is on the graphical options of the game, and try to decrease like to 90%, 80%. Try decrease until you get those perfect 60 frames per second that you need to play this game. But yeah, basically low settings, 1440p. 1440p at medium, obviously it gets even worse. So I didn't even try it out, or I didn't even record it. I mean, I did try it out, but it was worse, and obviously it doesn't make sense for me to record it as an option for you to use. So yeah, that's it. So if I had to choose the way to play this game, I would prefer with 1080p medium settings, and that's about it. Although if you want to go with 1080p high, it's fine, but yeah, you might encounter some peak moments of very intensive moments where the game can drop frame rate. Okay, so I think that's all that I want to talk about Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
I need to get my act together. How can I resist? I need to get my act together. Yeah.